Skip it up and that up. Alright, show of hands. Who's rock hard right now? Who's got a boner? Well, when you find out what I'm about to tell you in this video, you'll probably have one. Anyway, again, you're going to see the Fraps FPS counter in the top right corner. I'm playing Crysis 3 on my AMD rig with the Sapphire AMD R9 270X Vapor X. A lot of people, like I said in my previous video, if you didn't watch that one, wanted to see how Crysis 3 ran at max settings, which this does. Anti-aliasing is also set to FXAA, so everything is on, and the game still runs mostly at above 30 frames per second, minus a couple scenes, so it's playable on max settings on that card, which is pretty damn sweet. So get those boners engaged, fellas and ladies, if you get a boner that's kind of creepy. But anyway, the iBuyPower Steam machine is officially coming, supposedly still for $4.99. This article is kind of misleading that I have. There's other articles out there, but they all link back to this article anyway. So they're all somewhat misleading, but the specs are a little bit more honed in now. They're a little bit more specific. So the $4.99 Steam machine, if these specs actually pan out, this is going to be pretty impressive. I made a video on this before, but it was a little bit more vague. It's going to have a multi-core AMD CPU, a 500 gigabyte hard drive. The article hints that it may be an SSD, but I doubt that. They said doubtful too, actually. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and an AMD. This one made me shit. An AMD Radeon R9 270 graphics card, which goes for close to $200. It's actually really damn close to the Sapphire Radeon R9 270X I just reviewed. As a matter of fact, I've seen some specs on it. Even Linus Tech Tips said the same thing, that it really is exactly the 270X minus the X, and the fact that the clock speeds on it are a little bit cut down, but everything else spec for spec is the same as the 270X, and they're giving you all that for $4.99. That is nuts, man. I mean, I was just on Alienware site, and their entry-level model that goes for $200 more than this. If this price, like the article I just have here is like, oh, it's officially coming for $4.99, and then they're like, oh, if this all pans out when you actually read the article. Gotta love those misleading titles. But anyway, so I went to Alienware site, and I'm looking at the X51, the base model, which has a Core i3, which, and it has for the graphics, it has 1 terabyte hard drive. Okay, you're getting more RAM, a terabyte hard drive. Actually, I don't know the RAM that's in the iBuyPower Steam machine, but the graphics card's only a GTX 645, which the R9 270 would wipe the floor with that, and they're asking for $699 for a machine that has a dual-core processor. Now, even I wrote down the processors that say that they use this in the iBuyPower. Say like even they use the Athlon X4 750K, it's still a quad-core processor, and yes, per core, Intel processors are way more powerful than AMD, but having a true quad-core with 4 physical cores will be an advantage, especially now with the next-gen gaming systems. You know, at least 4 cores are going to be used with upcoming games. So even if they have in the iBuyPower Steam machine that Athlon X4, it has like 6 gigs of RAM, the 500 gig hard drive, and the R9 270. That will blow away this Alienware X51 for $699. And what's funny, the top of the line Alienware X51 for $1,300. Now, okay, you get the i7. I believe you're getting, 8 gigs of RAM there? Yep, 8 gigs of RAM. They're only giving you an R9 270X, which is almost identical to the R9 270, minus the fact that it has slightly faster clock speeds. So you're only getting a card that's slightly better, and Dell's making you pay $600 more. If this all pans out and iBuyPower could actually get those Steam machines on the shelves at $4.99 with those specs, they'll kill it, man. I mean, think about it. So you're getting all of the features that you get for a PC. You could open it up, you could upgrade it if you want to, but for the people who are just, casual, and I'm not saying casual gamers, but for people who aren't into the PC tech but were still interested in the Steam machine, you could get all the benefits of PC gaming and still with that console experience where you just take it out of the box, plug the HDMI cord in, hook it up to the internet, just like a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, and you're good to go. That's crazy, man. And for $499, that's a hell of a bargain for the performance you'll be getting. Like I said, I don't know the exact CPU yet and how much RAM, but still, shit. If they actually could get a machine out with those specs and have it be that capable at that price, I mean, I'm not going to say the Steam machine's going to be successful, but that would definitely help it. Now, the thing that here is where I think they're doing it wrong, and I've said this in other videos. This, with these specs, okay, this should be the only Steam machine. There shouldn't be a $1,200 Steam machine with a GTX Titan in it. There shouldn't be another one for $800, another one for $700, another one for $900, all these different specs. They should have this one damn box at this price point, okay? And people would not be confused. The general consumer who isn't PC nerds like you and I, who just want a game, there's only one box. They know it'll work. They don't have to worry about adjusting settings. They could just take it out, download games off of Steam, and just have the games work. I don't agree with all. And the thing about it too is it would help. The other thing they should do, I should say, is they should have this Steam machine be the main box, the one and only box, this one for $499 for 5 years. And if they only had the one Steam machine, had it be the main box for 5 years, it would be less stressful for developers. Because what developers would know is, okay, they could do the thing where they could fluctuate specs. But they know is, okay, everyone has a Steam machine. You know they all have the same hardware. So they could get down to the metal of the hardware in this Steam machine and get the most out of it. Even though it's just straight PC hardware, if they know there's 6 million Steam machines out there, they know that all 6 million of those Steam machines all have the same hardware, so they could treat it like a console, even though it's just really PC hardware. Even though, granted, you could say that the Xbox One and PS4 really just are PCs too. You get what I'm saying? So I don't agree with. I think that's this thing that still concerns me about the whole Steam machine concept. Is I don't agree with the fact there's going to be multiple boxes at multiple different price points. They should have just had this one at this bargain price point. Tell developers that they have to support these standard specs in this iBuyPower box for 5 years, just like a console, even though the last generation almost lasted 9 years. And then boom, there you go, man. You would kill it. And hey, even though people are going to say, hey, Rich, but what about people who want to upgrade their parts? So go ahead and do it. If you want to open up the iBuyPower and put a GTX 780 in there instead, by all means, you're a different user than the next guy. But if they have that baseline spec that they know people went out there and purchased, and they know everyone has a 270, they know everyone has that Athlon 750K, they could build it and optimize games for 5 years to come. And if you have a better card in there, then you could upgrade. You could raise the specs up. But everyone else, the games will automatically detect it has the standard Steam hardware, and it'll run. This is all in concept. They're not really doing this. They're coming out with multiple Steam boxes. But that, to me, if I was, one of the suits at Steam, that's what I would have suggested. I really think just one Steam machine and get rid of all the mess and clutter, and it would have been more appealing to the general consumer. Now I will step off my soapbox. I'm done. All right, folks, make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting Review Tech USA. Have a good one.